after the president's stop at Fort McHenry this afternoon, he headed to Pikesville to raise money for Senate Democrats. But when he got there, he was met by protesters. 11 News I-Team reporter Barry Sims is live with more on that story. Barry.
Well, Kate, many people in the Northwest Baltimore community were glad to see the president. They were glad that he was visiting their neighborhood. But, of course, there were some who were protesting. And one group wanted to make sure that he didn't forget his commitment to Latino voters. As President Obama's motorcade arrived in Northwest Baltimore, signs of support welcomed the commander-in-chief. Others called for supporting Israel and letting that country defend itself. The group Casa de Maryland wanted the president to refocus his decision on immigration. Feeling betrayed, about 20 protesters claimed the president broke his promise to take action on immigration before the end of the summer.
I think it's, treating Latino voters like pawns on a chessboard.
Recently, President Obama said he was postponing any movement until after the midterm congressional elections in November.
I'm going to act because it's the right thing for the country, but it's going to be more sustainable and more effective if the public understands what the facts are on immigration, what we've done on unaccompanied children, and why it's necessary.
I think it's pure politics. To be honest, the fact of the matter is that every day 1,100 people are deported from this country, and so we believe that he needs to think about those repercussions, that every day that he waits, it means it's 1,100 families that are separated.
The president was in Baltimore for a Democratic Senatorial Committee fundraiser. It was held at the home of Howard Friedman, the former president of the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. Tickets for the event ranged from $10,000 to more than $32,000. For about an hour, the president spoke and answered questions. According to a White House transcript, Obama said, "We live in deeply troubled times internationally." He discussed the Middle East, calling the group ISIS, which controls a part of Iraq and Syria, a prominent threat. He also talked about the Ukraine and Russia, all important issues, but these protesters wanted to make sure Obama, financial donors, and other Democratic supporters understood how bitterly disappointed they are with the president's latest stance on immigration.
I think that we need to do everything that we can, take every opportunity that we can to make sure that he gets that message.
Now, the president said that he will do something about immigration by the end of the year. Reporting live from Baltimore, Barry Sims, WBAL-TV 11 News.